Nintendo Direct is here, and compared to E3, I think this one is a lot better. Now, during this Direct, we were shown some very cool new games that I really want to start playing right now. So first, we got a couple updates on Mario Party Superstars, and they showed us a few new game boards. I suppose these aren't exactly new, since these are basically remastered game boards from N64 Mario Party games. Now, the boards that they showed us for this game were Woody Woods, Yoshi's Tropical Island, and Horrorland. So far, I don't hate these boards like the ones in Super Mario Party, which were terrible, and they were really short. However, I wish that they would have used some bigger maps in their selection. And they only used 5 boards. I feel like 7 would have been acceptable, especially since they didn't even need to design new boards from scratch. But I still think these boards have pretty interesting features. So in the end, I think this game is worth it. With online, being able to save your progress in the middle of an hour-long game, decent boards, and pretty decent mini-games, and the fact that I don't have to play with one Joy-Con and I can use a comfortable Pro Controller is greatly appreciated, and I think myself and others will definitely enjoy this game. Now, there were a few other games shown off, and then they showed us some updates on Hyrule Warriors, which reminds me, we didn't hear anything on Breath of the Wild sequel. Now, if they had given us information on it, I bet that would have confirmed their 2022 release date. But so far, I think this game is coming out in 2023. I don't think it's coming out anytime soon. But after that, they showed us 3D platforming. Well, I'm sold. So Nintendo took Kirby and gave it a Z-axis. And you know what? It looks pretty fun. I haven't played a ton of Kirby games. I've played some of them through the Switch Online service, and some of them that were free. But the fact that how Kirby controls resembles Mario's makes it easy for my Super Mario platforming obsession to take a vacation for once. And the place that they showed us on the cover really reminds me of New Donk City. Oh, and speaking of Mario Golf Super Rush is getting another update? And you know what? I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Why did the game not have these features when it was initially released? Which I feel like is something that happens in all modern video games recently. And that leads me to Nintendo Switch Online, where you'll be able to play Nintendo 64 games. But you're gonna have to hand over some extra money to Nintendo for this add-on. Now, there hasn't been a price reveal yet, but it'll probably be about $10 more expensive per year, and that isn't a bad deal, even if it was $20. And the Nintendo 64 lineup so far has a lot of pretty solid titles. Also, there were even more great promised titles compared to the NES Online, which... Adventures of Lolo. Who needs Mario Kart 9? We have Mario Kart 64 with up to 4 players. There's Mario Tennis, Star Fox, Dr. Mario, and whatever these titles are. But then there's Ocarina of Time, which is incredible. I might be a little mad since I just bought this for my 3DS, but this is a solid game. And Super Mario 64, wait. Okay, well, I suppose 3D All-Stars just lost 30% of all of its value. I mean, the N64 collection might even support the rewind feature. It might not look like it right now, since on the N64, normally you'd be using ZL and ZR, the Z button, you'd be using that for something. But if this one includes rewind, wouldn't that mean that Super Mario 64 would have higher value than All-Stars? Anyway, overall, I think this collection on its own is very solid, but there were even more promised games they showed us. Majora's Mask, Mario Golf, F-Zero, Kirby, Paper Mario, and yes, I will be buying that controller. Oh, and Sega Genesis. Yes, Sega is real. Which, I think this is pretty cool, since it even comes with the purchase of the N64 Online through the expansion pack. So after the online, there was a few other games, including Bayonetta 3 and Splatoon 3, which they look really good, especially for a Switch title. Now, I haven't really delved into those series too much, but maybe if I see a few trailers, maybe I'll be interested. But that is kind of everything in the Direct, game-wise, that I wanted to talk about. I think online was probably the biggest thing for me, but there was a little bit more, you know? Mario is making his debut on the big screen with Chris Pratt and the guy who plays Toad. Perfect. So, you know, this movie will be interesting. I will be watching it. But that's about everything I wanted to talk about in the Direct. But overall, that was a pretty exciting Direct. Oh, and if someone from Nintendo is watching, I know some people have their hands on the Nintendo Switch OLED, maybe you probably have like a billion just sitting there, so, if you could maybe send me. Anyway, that is everything. I'll see you later. Goodbye.